Really glad you're here, and it was smart of you to bring the guitar and not the cello or whatever, or the giant keyboard or anything else up the stairs. So,
Yep, it's much easier.
I would have enjoyed the cello, just saying.
oh yeah, man.
I mean, I enjoy it too, but I can't play chords on it as easily while singing. So here
story.
we are.
Well, Pippa, you know that we like to just begin with a song. So whatever you'd like to play, we'd love to hear.
All right, I'm gonna play a song about my hometown that's on my album. It's called Hometown. The heat pulled mirage like on the asphalt, yellowing the fields were red-winged blackbirds, sitting spaced like sentries on the fence posts, watched us as we rode away. The wallflowers and mustard seeds were drying, and I couldn't stay to see them back again next year. But a purple sweet pea sprout still lived, its tendrils entwining round the railroad tracks and tumbleweeds. I used to stand over the interstate, high above the ranch homes and the minivans. I laced my hands in the chain link fence with longing, watched the haze drift with the delta breeze. I know why dreamers scorn this place. Lemmings swarm the strip malls and the high school halls. But I hold my mind on the fringe patches of beauty, so I have no hate for my hometown. No, I have no hate for my hometown. Black widows still nest inside the pump house. Blackberries still tangle up the drainage ditch. The blacktops still shimmer in the summertime. Though I'm long gone, I have no hate for my hometown. No, I have no hate for my hometown. Thank you.
Pippa Hoover live here in the studio. So what is your hometown that you don't hate?
Oh, it's Davis, California,
I've heard of it.
on the other side of the country.
There's the University of California there.
Yes, it is UCD. Davis is kind of the Chapel Hill of California. There's a lot of comparisons. They're like a dense PhD capital, similar latitudes, you know.
So they're almost Chapel Hill, but not quite as cool.
Well, I'm a California girl always.
Well, we're glad you're here with us now.
Oh, thank you.
So, Pippa, you said that's from the album. Is that from which record, and where can we find it?
That is from my solo album, Nightbird Singing. You can
Nightbird
find
Singing,
it
right.
on Bandcamp. It's on Spotify, but now that they're changing it so you basically don't get paid, sad times. But,
Yes.
stream it there, and maybe someday in the future I will get a fraction of a penny.
Is there a
So-
way people can actually buy it from you?
Yeah, you can buy it through Bandcamp, or you can find me out in the world and I'll sell you one from my bag of CDs.
All right.
Well, Pippa, we do want to get as much music in as we can, so what do you have for us next?
Good question. I think I'm going to play Hummingbird, also from the album.
A crowd favorite.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a sad one, but I don't write too many happy songs, so it's hard to. Yeah, and this set's a little, I don't know. Well, you'll see. But in fact, I might call Hummingbird like one of the happier ones, which is,
Oh, so Merry Christmas,
Yeah.
y'all.
Ironic.
Yeah, sorry, I don't have Christmas songs. I'm against writing them.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Humming torn off wing, struggled by the side of the road. In the gravel and dust I stopped, scooped her up and hurried home. I laid her in a bed of flowers, lilacs and buddleia, and I made a dish of sugar, water, and hoped and prayed. Hummingbird with a torn off wing, feathers still downy and gray. I felt her warmth and her heart beat, so swift and scared against my hands. I laid her in a bed of flowers, fuchsia and trumpet vine, and I made a dish of sugar, water, and hoped and prayed. Hibiscus, and I made a dish of sugar, water, and hoped and prayed. Hummingbird with a torn off wing, I left to let her rest on her own. I came back to a stiff and dry little body with its spirit gone. I laid her with a tiny gravestone beneath the walnut tree, and I cried about creation's cruelty and grieved the life I didn't save. Hummingbird, oh.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I love that last stanza where what are the words about the frozen body?
In like the beginning of the last verse?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Hummingbird with a torn off wing. I left to let her rest on her own. I came back to a stiff and dry little body with its spirit gone.
Stiff and dry little body with his spirit gone.
Yes.
That just...
It was very sad. It's a true story.
I was going to ask, but I'm sorry, I'm a sick person. I laugh when I hear that line.
Oh.
He's sitting here pumping his fist as he says that.
Die, hummingbird, die. No, I don't hate hummingbirds, but that was a true story. You did find a hummingbird on the side of the road.
I did, yes.
You must have been fairly young.
No, this was actually, it was in Hillsborough. It was at my parents' house in Hillsborough, like on the road by their property. And I was probably like 26 or 27 when this happened. Yeah.
Okay. And the hummingbird had only one wing now.
Yes, but it was still alive at that time.
So your plan was to just keep it comfortable while it died?
Well, yes, I had a sliver of hope that maybe it could survive without a wing, but
Or like a lizard, grow another one.
Grow another one, yeah.
yeah, unfortunately, I think like they have to drink so frequently that if they can't like be mobile, I don't know,
Yeah.
it would have had to be constantly giving it nectar somehow. But yeah, I hopefully made it more comfortable so it didn't just get like eaten by a dog or raccoon or whatever
Or
was going to
whatever.
get it. Yeah.
Well, Bob, thanks for helping Pippa dredge up these happy memories.
These
Well, I heard
memories.
the playlist was going to be a little bit dark, so I just wanted to lead us down that path.
Well, it was a great song, though.
Oh,
Really
thank
wonderful.
you.
Yeah, I heard, Pippa, you play that song at the Yonder Songwriter Circle, what, about 2 months ago?
Something like that.
Something like that. Yep.
And I remember it just being fantastic. And
Oh,
the
thank
the
you.
crowd there, you had a pretty good crowd there, and it was
Yes.
just silent and rapt listening to this. And you have such a wonderful, warm, clear voice. Everyone's just hanging on it. And until you got to that part about finding the stiff dead bird, and people were just kind of looking around, side-eyeing each other. It was
Everybody was
a
so
great
hopeful
moment.
for a long time.
Yeah, they too thought the hummingbird was going to grow a wing back, huh?
Exactly.
No.
So, Pippa, these songs of yours, and they are wonderful. Is the common way for them to come out of real experiences that you've had, or?
I would say for the most part, but not always. Like, I wrote a song about the cat cafe in Chapel Hill that was totally fictional, but I just thought it was a funny idea. So sometimes I'll just like write a story, but I would say a pretty good portion are at least inspired by something. I often will like spin it off into something not totally true to fact, but yeah.
But wait, there is or was a cat cafe in Chapel Hill.
Oh, there's definitely a cat cafe.
Fabulous.
And it is
Okay.
fabulous. But the story was I go to the cat cafe and I like meet a man and we were petting the same cat at the same time. And then I fall in love. I wish I could play it, but it's like a pop punk song and like I need an electric guitar and like drums for it to sound good. So I'm not doing it tonight, but someday.
Y'all look for Pippa Hoover out playing this song live someday.
Someday. Actually, I have performed it with Honey Magpie, I think, twice. But again, we don't usually do it because we don't always have drums. But if you can catch it, it's a good one.
Yeah, I'm here for the Pippa Hoover pop punk genre of music.
Yeah. Sign me up.
I'm actually here for it too. I just like need a band. So, DM me. Find me on Instagram. DM me if you want to be my pop punk band. I've got material.
You are going
That
to
was-
get so many responses.
Oh, that's totally fine. I'll wade through it. But most of it written when I was in middle school. But you know what?
Which
It's
is
the
appropriate.
it's the perfect mindset for that genre.
Everybody, in addition to Instagram, you can find Pippa out there at pippahoover.com, and the recordings are, there are links there to Spotify. And as Pippa has shows coming up, those will likely be posted there as well as Instagram. And so she's worth following.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you.
Pippa, can you play us another song?
Sure. Let me check my set list, see what I'm
We
doing.
don't want to use up all of your songs, but we want you to play all of the music.
Okay.
All of the time.
Well, I will say it's been a harrowing week, and I'm kind of like, discombobulated. I burnt my thumb.
Oh, no.
We'll see how the songs go. I'm like, wow, I made it through two. So this one is a song. Yes, this is a song that I have performed with Honey Magpie. We used to play it pretty frequently, but it's kind of fallen out of our rotation, and we never recorded it. And it is called Young and Sweet. Oh, don't you wish I could stay young and sweet, like a bird too small for flight? I would peep and plead for worms from you, and my beak would have no bite. In the arc of your strong wings, nested in how tight you'd comb your claws through my downy feathers, pluck out all the colors you don't like. Pluck out all the colors you don't like on me. Oh, don't you wish I could stay young and sweet, like a sapling dogwood tree? Seduced you'd swarm me like the honeybees, or rutting stags who eat my leaves, and strip my bark until I'm naked before your frozen blood. That's the way you wake and crave to see me, meek, exposed and swaying at the sight. Meek, exposed and swaying at the sight of you. Oh, don't you wish I could stay young and sweet, like a honeysuckle vine? You could rip my snow white flowers off, suck 'em clean, then let 'em die. In the dark, damp spring soil, where your boots sink deep, or screwed between a flower press's pages, trapped, dried out, and flattened. You could keep. Trapped, dried out, and flattened. You could keep me. Oh, don't you wish I could stay young and sweet? Those are not the right words, so I'm gonna do the verse again. How I long for when I'm old and gray, barren and cradled as the moon. You'll be afraid to trample on me then, 'cause I'll have naught but death to give you. And I'll shine bright, bright, bright in all my glory, brighter than the stars. You won't contain my gravity, my tides. I'll drag you out to sea to suffer far, far, far. Drag you out to sea to suffer far, far, far away. Thanks.
Everybody, we're enjoying our time here on Pass the Hat with Pippa Hoover very much, and we're not sure where you're tuning in from. If you are interested in radio, we are WHUPFM.org, and maybe many of you are there. But, Bob, we are also doing a simulcast, if you will, on video. Tell people how to find that.
A triple cast.
Yes. Wow.
Right? We are available right now on all of your favorite streaming services, and your favorite streaming services are YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. At Whoop Pass the Hat on all of those, at WHUP Pass the Hat. Find us there. Twitch keeps the streams there for 2 weeks. The other two keep them there forever, so you can go to the other two, YouTube and Facebook, and find this live stream, find it next week, find it forever in the future, and find a few years' worth of live streams from all of our previous shows, so you can just have a wonderful good time at Pass the Hat. And by the way, Matty Sheets said he would love to play ukulele in your punk band.
In my punk band?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be awesome, a ukulele in the punk band?
It would be. And you know, one of my greatest life regrets was I was at a flea market and I saw an electric ukulele and I didn't buy it.
Oh, that is something to regret.
I
agree.
know. And I even started writing a song about this regret, but it's not done yet.
Well, you need a ukulele to play the song.
It's true. So yeah, join my band on ukulele, especially if it's electric.
Well, Pippa, you said that you were in California for a while, and you also said that your folks were here in Hillsborough. So how did the migration happen across the country?
Well, that is a semi-long story. So
We have time.
When I graduated high school, like right at that time, my dad got a job out here. So my parents moved out here and I helped them move. And then I went to college. I went to college in Iowa, and then I went and lived in Russia. Is that right? Oh, no. Then I went and lived in Minnesota. Then I went and lived in Russia. And I was working at this job in Russia that was just like not good. And finally, I snapped and wanted to leave. And I had it like lined up my housing because it was one of those things where it's like you have a year-long position. And I was like, well, crap, didn't get an apartment, don't know where I'm living. So I just went to where my parents were and got stuck here, got into a band. And then I didn't want to leave because I have a band. And
Well,
here I am.
Iowa, Minnesota, and then Russia, 3 really warm tropical places.
Right.
Yes, I actually really like it. I like that climate. I love the snow. I'm like sad that it doesn't snow here. And when it snows the one time every year, except it skipped the last couple years. It's been a bummer, but yeah, I always am like, yeah.
My oldest son, same thing. When he graduated high school, I asked him where he wanted to go to college, and his answer was somewhere cold. And he has not moved back from Canada yet.
Canada, wow.
But what drew you to Iowa?
I went to Grinnell College. It was mainly the college. I definitely wouldn't have just like moved to Iowa on purpose
Just not a
for no
big
reason.
fan of corn.
It's not that I dislike corn, but it's like it's not what I was looking for in life. And Iowa is the most unnatural state in the union, and I'm like an outdoorsy person, so that wasn't great. But the college was good because they don't have any requirements outside your major, so you can like do whatever you want academically.
Well, that's nice because it gives you a chance to try things and see what feels good.
Or if you're me, only do things that you like, and
There's that
not dip your toe in anything you don't, which has benefits and drawbacks. I mean, it did allow me to take a lot of music courses, even though I wasn't a major. But
So you specialize. There's something to
Yeah.
be said for that.
There is something to be said, yeah.
My niece Elizabeth went to Grinnell a couple
Oh,
years ago.
cool.
She's younger than you are, but I think she enjoyed that kind of experience as well. I did whatever I felt like when I was at Duke, but it was not really part of the curriculum.
Is that why all your friends got thrown out of
They
Duke?
got thrown out, and one of my professors told my one friend who stayed, "Would you tell Mr. Ridge this is not a correspondence course?"
You actually have to show up for class now.
I was before my time. He didn't know that here in the 2020s that correspondence courses would be the next big thing.
Right. You're basically working from home, like everybody does these days.
Yeah. So I was just a visionary.
Yeah, always have been, always will be.
Oh well.
And by the way, speaking of visionaries, Gabriella LaFoley says hello, and Leah Kaufman says, "Wow."
Oh, thank you. Well, hello and thank you.
Gabriella also, if you don't know, Gabriella also a ukulele aficionado.
Nice.
You could have the whole ukulele
I know.
punk band.
Kind of
yeah.
say, is this just going to be a ukulele orchestra?
A uke orchestra punk band. This is going to be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's. How is your thumb doing?
Oh, yeah. The thumb's pretty much, it's okay. It was more of a psychological damage and just the, not being able to practice, I don't know how well people listening know me. Probably not that well. I'm a little bit of a hermit. But, my primary instrument is the cello. So every time I play guitar, it's always just I hope my hand does the right thing, It's, not what I'm used to.
It's working well so far.
Well,
Very good.
We'll see. The next two songs I have rarely played out. They're newer songs, and when I made the set list was yeah, I could do this, and then my life exploded, and I was like, oh no.
All right, well, let's hear one of the challenging songs.
All right, yeah. So this next one, if I'm not mistaken, well, I guess I don't have to follow my order. Yes. This is a song about when you date someone who turns out to be your rock bottom, that makes you reevaluate how you're conducting your dating life and change your ways and be like, let's not repeat this horrible mistake. And it's a song that asks the question, how does it feel to be that person, the rock bottom person who did this?
Oh.
Hey, how you been? How does it feel to be you right now? Hey, how you been? How does it feel to be you right now? It's the one dream I can't let go. I'm not getting in touch 'cause I need a friend. I don't miss you much. I'm not sorry I ended it. I just wanna know, how does it feel? I'm not hitting you up 'cause I want you back. My life's looking up, everything is on track now. I just wanna know, how does it feel? How does it feel to be the man who wiped my windshield clean? When the light hit that dust and grit, it shined, it glittered, and the road looked fair and fine, but it was littered and pitted real bad. I'm doing better, I'm so glad to be through right now. I'm doing better, I'm so glad to be through right now. But there's one thing I can't let go. I'm not here to rehash things, I'm done, to be frank. I'm convinced that you're trash, and I'm not here to thank you. I just wanna know, how does it feel? And I don't want to patch up, life's cleaner without you. I swear there's no catch, there's just one thing about you, one thing I'm itching to know. How does it feel, babe? How does it feel to be the man who foamed my vinegar? I'd sat sour and power bubbled out of me. I'm salty now, and I mean salt of the earth. And it's your fault that I bettered your base. Hey, how you doing? How does it feel to be you right now? Hey, how you doing? How does it feel to be you right now? Thank you.
Hey, Pippa Hoover live here in the studio, and the live stream is lighting up with people wanting to be part of the Punkalele band.
Great. I have so many punkalelists. It's going to be beautiful.
It's going to be awesome.
Pippa, you've given us some insight on where these songs come from, but I'm curious about your process. So do they just burst out all at once in all their glory, or do you have to bring them along?
It depends on the song. Yeah, it sometimes I'm just like, there it is, it came out. And sometimes I've been working on the same song for like 5 years. And then I'm like, I finally did it. I finally completed it.
And so you're just waiting for it to settle in and strike you that finally it's there? Or how do you know when the time has come?
I mean, it really does depend. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, I have an idea. And then I sit down and I work on it and oh, it's there. And sometimes I'll get like a verse or a couple lines and I'll just like slowly work on it. And it'll be like multiple days of like, let's do some songwriting. And then 2 hours pass and I'm like, well, nothing happened.
Well, it's good that you're not freaked out that you can't like bring it to closure right at that time, that you're kind of trusting your process and let it flow. And
yeah.
You keep multiple songs going at once?
Yeah, I do. I've definitely got several fragments. I usually have like a bunch of fragments that sit around for various lengths of time, and then in between that I'll get a few that just sort of get done immediately.
You did mention your primary instrument is cello.
It is, yes.
So when you're writing songs, is the music you hear in your head a guitar, a cello, a piano, any particular instrument?
Voice usually. Like I usually just write the melody and the lyrics together. And actually I used to not write with any instrument at all, and then I would just like fit chords to it. I would say now I'll usually like come up with a melody in my car or like lyrics. I usually do the lyrics and the melody kind of pretty much together, but like I'll just be like singing in my car, record yourself a voice memo. And then by the time I get home, I like do take out the guitar. I've gotten more into writing on the guitar usually. I liked writing without any instrument, and I think you can come up with more interesting melodies that way sometimes, because if you don't think about what your chord structure is, you'll just kind of like go wherever you feel like it. But
I guess I could see that being a little freeing. Probably a majority, or at least a plurality of the folks that come in here are writing on guitar, and a lot of folks say they'll just kind of start plunking around on the guitar and wait for something to jump out.
Interesting.
And that kind of gives them the melody that they're then writing a song for. But I can see it being kind of freeing as not having any instrument in mind and just coming up with a melody in your head.
Yeah, that's usually how it starts. And now it's more of like a hybrid process, I guess, where I start with that and then I put some chords down and go from there. Yeah.
So you go through that process, but you also have a band.
I do.
Or you're a member of a band.
I'm a member of a band, yes.
Do you then bring it to the band and say, do something with this? Or is it fully formed by the time you're springing it on the band?
I would say my songs are mostly formed by the time I spring them on the band. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I get them.
There's bourbon right there if you need to wash your throat out.
I might need to. Yeah, they're pretty fully formed. If there's like an instrumental break, sometimes it'll just be like, I left some chords here. Let's figure out like what we want to put in this hole. Yeah, we don't do a ton of co-writing in the band. We've done one song where Rachel wrote the melody and I wrote the lyrics, and
there was also a bottle of water in case you need it,
Yeah.
and you have your own water.
You make good recommendations, Bob.
But water and bourbon?
Yes. Yeah, you seem to be in pain. Get the bourbon.
Bourbon is good for so many things.
Rachel being Rachel Hurwitz.
That's right. Yes.
And you've had other members in Honey Magpie. Do you currently, or just the two of you?
We are actually working with a new member. She's pretty new. We've rehearsed a few times. We're really excited. We haven't played out yet. So this show, we have a show coming up January 26th at the Sunrise Theater in Southern Pines. So
Nice.
local people, if you
Sweet.
want to take a road trip, you're welcome to join us.
Southern Pines is a wonderful place, too.
It is, yeah. So she'll be joining us on stage then, and she sings and plays keyboard. She also plays guitar, but she's going to be mainly playing keyboard. And it was really quite great because our last singer keyboarder moved to Asheville, and we were just like, oh, we have to find a new member. And we were looking around, and it just wasn't working. And we were just like, well, I guess we're a duo now. And then she contacted us. She's fell out of the sky.
Sweet.
Yeah,
I'm-
so
I'm-
we're very excited.
And I'm sorry I missed her name.
Her name is Lydia Arnold. Yes.
And so you play cello then mostly with the group, and Rachel plays guitar?
Yep.
Nice. Wow. Everybody get down there to Sunrise Theater?
That's down Abigail Dowd's way, who was here with us, 2 weeks ago?
Yep.
All kinds of cool stuff goes on down in the Southern Pines area.
Well, everybody, we have reached or about to the top of the hour, and we are encumbered to announce that we are WHUP LP Hillsboro, and we are so fortunate that for the second hour of our show, we have another sponsor, Bob.
That's right. Support for the second hour of Past the Hat is sweetly provided by Matthews Chocolates, 104 North Churton Street, Hillsboro, North Carolina, the finest in chocolate and chocolate accessories for all of your chocolate needs. Every guest here on Past the Hat gets a gift of chocolate from Matthews. Pippa is holding up a box of chocolate from Matthews, which is a little bit overstuffed, so the lid is trying to come off, which is
Oh, that's a good thing.
the best way for a box of chocolate to behave.
And you know you have chocolate needs.
That's right. You have chocolate needs. Y'all don't go to Matthews right now and expect to buy a bunch of chocolate for Christmas. You were supposed to pre-order back at Thanksgiving. We told you that.
Yes.
But there is still chocolate being made, and Lucy Bella is over there making all of the hot cocoa mix right now.
Kim, is that different? I haven't been there to get the cocoa. We have different types of cocoa going on, or what? What's the there's some with some cayenne sort of.
There
to it?
are, and I can tell which kind she's been mixing by the way my car smells
Ah,
when I take her home. So last week it was peppermint. My car smells like peppermint. And then he also has a cardamom. He has a Mexican. He has an Aztec, which is different. One is spicier than the other.
Mhm.
One has like a mole taste. And then, of course, you have your regular. And they're all really delicious.
They're all super good. The cardamom one is with a little bit of a marshmallow or whipped cream on top is just the bomb.
It's really good.
So we are officially now into the second half hour of Pippa Hoover's time here on Pass the Hat. We are here with Pippa Hoover live. Learn more at pippahoover.com. And, stalk her on all of the social medias at Pippa Hoover.
yep.
Yes, please do.
We're going to sit here and quietly and wait to see if you decide to play another song.
Okay. Well, no, I will play one. So this song is a duet, actually.
Do you need me to sing?
Yeah, if you could.
I can't.
It is like a man-woman duet. I think any women who have been on online dating will find it pretty relatable. Hopefully you'll be able to tell who's singing just from the context. If not, oh well. Bob told me I could do whatever I wanted on this show.
It's
so,
true.
It's new. When you write a newer song and you just want to play it, even though you can't sing two different octaves yourself.
We are here for this.
I want a girl with no expectations. I want a girl who loves me for me. I want a girl who's grateful for whatever I give, no matter how cheap or measly. You don't want a girl, you want a mama who'll hang your finger paintings on the wall. If you need a place to hold your gifts from the heart, there's a trash chute a few doors down the hall. With me there's dues to pay. With me there's consequences. With me there's only conditional love. I want a girl who won't ever judge me. I want a girl who looks past my flaws. I want a girl who always forgives easily, no matter how deep the pain I cause. You don't want a girl, you want a mama who'll clean the filth you drag across the floor. If you need a place to wipe the dirt off your shoes, there's a doormat just outside my door. With me there's dues to pay. With me there's consequences. With me there's only conditional love. I will not be any grown man's mama. I've got my own affairs and cares to drown. If you need a place to show up with empty hands, there's a church house past the edge of town. With me there's dues to pay. With me there's consequences. With me there's only conditional love. With me there's only conditional love. Gotta figure out what I'm doing at the end there.
Well, I think that's where the website that hires you, you sing whatever it is, Match.com, and then that, because there's your theme song, y'all. Call Pippa. She's here for you. That should be somebody's theme song.
This song?
I think so.
Yeah,
It
that's
could
going to
be-
that's going to get you a lot of dates. That song right there.
I think it could be an ironic, hilarious
Oh,
kind
it
of
is.
kind of web advert. I'm just
Totally.
saying, Bumble, call her.
Oh,
You
please
do
do.
that. Yeah.
I would be very happy.
Because women would. Bumble, is that the one that women use?
That is
okay.
the one,
Okay,
yes.
I've had friends on that one. Yes, you need really legit to call them because every woman has gone out with that guy even before online dating.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah, Prince Low Standards.
Yeah.
What's up?
Bob, this whole discussion is making me very uncomfortable.
How long
Just
have
the-
you been on Match, Kirk?
Just the prospect of online dating is
It's daunting, right?
it's making me, what's the word, apoplectic, one of those plectics.
Yeah, it's very eclectic in here.
Yes.
From what I understand, it's like a job. You know how looking for a job is a job? My understanding is that online dating with there's just so many choices like these apps. I've never heard of some of them. And the websites, and it is like a job and quite an unpleasant one at that.
Yeah, I mean, my personal recommendation is to not use it at all. Like, they set it up like a slot machine.
Yes.
And as soon as they figure out, like, who you want from who you swipe on, they try to not show that person to you. And then
Keep you
every
engaged that
so
way.
often, they'll be like, here's a good one. And you're like, whoa, I finally got the jackpot. And it just keeps you coming back for more. You know, they're messing with your head. And there's a lot I could say. Just don't do it. Go in the real world.
Yeah.
IRL, you guys.
Go to a bar and make some bad decisions like real people,
That's right.
or just bump into somebody at the farmer's market.
Yeah, or like
Is that a cabbage in your
get
hands?
a nice
Or
hobby.
Ew.
Take
Learn
a
to-
Ew.
Learn to play the cello.
I don't know
works
if that,
every time.
Do you
I
ever
don't know if
play the
that's worked for
cello?
me.
You ever play the cello like a guitar?
I have before.
people do
yeah,
that?
I mean,
It's like bass. That would be like
you
a bass, right?
can. I'm definitely not good at it, but you know who might be good at that is Rushad Eggleston. Do you know him?
No.
He's a cellist. He's like, you should look him up and just like see what his whole thing is. He like does tricks while he's playing the cello, and a lot of what he does is like really, really crazy fast spiccato, which is where you take your bow and you're like sort of bouncing it off the string. So it's like, and like a lot of it sounds really sort of metal-esque, and his songs are often weird, sometimes have like gibberish lyrics.
Repeat that name again, please.
Rushad Eggleston.
All right.
And I think he had a viral video a few years back where he was like spearing tofu on his bow and eating it. Because he's also vegan, which is great.
So I'd be here for someone to go full Pete Townsend with their cello on stage. That would be interesting to watch.
So you got to sharpen the end of your bow. The bows
poke the
don't come
tofu.
like that. So you got to have a custom made bow.
So he's got like a
I guess.
little pencil sharpener that he goes off stage and grinds it down.
Yeah, I don't know if he like put a skewer on the end. I didn't really investigate too deeply into how this was done. I was just like, wow, this is happening.
That's right. Most bows, most high-end bows are made with Pernambuco, which might be toxic. So he probably had something on the end of it to keep the toxic wood from getting into his body.
One would hope, or he may have had like a not so fancy bow for that purpose. I'm not sure.
True, you might not
was
want
happening.
the tofu on your
on your
$2,000
good
bow.
bow. Yeah.
Well,
I
you
certainly have
said
never
your
tried to do
songs
that.
are not happy songs, but I find them delightful.
Oh, thank you.
I'm delighted by these songs.
I'm happy.
Well, yeah, sometimes the song itself might not be happy, but it makes other people happy.
Yeah, no,
they
I'm-
make me happy to sing. It's fun for me, but sometimes I'm just like, oh no, another bummer, another snarky song. Every time I get asked for the upbeat jams, I'm like, I don't know what to tell you guys.
No, I'm here for this. I live in this world too, so I
Yeah.
would like to hear another one.
All right.
Bring the snark.
Well, the snark might have run out. Let's see. I think it's sad next.
All right.
Yes. Yeah, a couple sads coming up. This is a song. Yeah, this is one of those songs where like I think it's one of my better songs and the audience seems to think so, which often there's like a disconnect where I'm like, oh yeah, it's this one's so good, and everyone's just like, I don't care. And then there's just the one song where you're just like, oh, not this one, and everybody's like, I love that song, but this one we agree on. So at least so far, I don't know if you guys are going to be like, no, you're wrong, but
We'll
this
let
one-
you know.
Yeah, this one's called Still Lake on a Sunny Day. Oh, and I was about to just start it on the wrong chord, so.
We wouldn't have known.
I know, but I felt compelled to say. You look at me like a still lake on a sunny day. All you can see is the blue in your reflection. Year after year, you come to me for an easy stay. Dip in your toes, have a dream of deep connection. But when the wind picks up and the surface starts to ripple, or when the fish start jumping, you think something must be wrong, and you are right. You don't know what you're looking at. When I'm with you, I feel like nothing. When I'm with you, I feel like nothing. I always thought of myself as the strong, silent type. That's not a role you can play if you're a woman. Still, I'm the same little girl who fell off of her bike and tied her shirt round her leg to hide the wound there. So when I took your praises It's not 'cause I believed you now that my voice is raising. You think something must be wrong, and you are right. You don't know what you're looking at. When I'm with you, I feel like nothing. When I'm with you, I feel like nothing. You look at me like a still lake, sunshine overhead, but for the first time a storm clouds roll towards you. Out of the light, you could look down to the pebbled bed, study its shape, but instead you tell me something must be wrong, and you are right. You don't know what you're looking at. When I'm with you, I feel like nothing. When I'm with you, I feel like nothing.
Pippa Hoover live here on Pass the Hat.
That would be another warning off of online dating, I think.
Perhaps, yes, it can be interpreted that way. It wasn't really inspired by an online dating experience, but you might find yourself with such feelings after online dating.
Yeah. If you talked about your songs come together, music and lyrics all together, but let's say you had one taken away. Like if you had to have your ability to play the instrument or your ability to write the words, which one would you be more comfortable having taken away? Like, I can do this if you take this away.
Like I just became like totally tone deaf or something?
Yeah.
Or, that is a really tough choice. Yeah, I don't know.
Because the words, you're really a poetic writer.
Yeah,
Yes.
like this is why it's so tough for me, because I feel like when I'm songwriting, like I really pay a lot of attention to lyrics, and that's kind of what my passion is. But at the same time, like I've just always been like, I love music, and like some of the music that I liked a lot of. I grew up with my mom listening to a lot of Motown, and so I like a lot of that stuff that's just like a great catchy tune, and the lyrics are like,
Good job, Mom.
not the deepest, but I just love it. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know if I can choose. Like, it probably depends on the day you ask me.
Right.
Like today I'm kind of feeling the music actually, but I think a lot of times I might just be like, nah, I just love lyrics. So
Well, I think your songs are deceptively catchy. That's what's
thanks.
interesting about you is that you hear you're kind of this stealth. You're stealth in a lot of things. Someone comes up and hears you, for example, at Centerfest, and you see this lovely person. Oh, what a pretty dress. And oh, look, pretty guitar and lovely voice. And oh my goodness, she cute. And oh my God, what did she just say? Like,
Suddenly she's cutting you to ribbons.
yeah,
Yes.
and you're just really stealth with your humor. And inside of these catchy, adorable tunes, someone go die or something bad is happening. And that is fantastic.
Oh, thank
I
you.
love that about your music.
Totally.
Thank you so
Totally agree.
much. Yeah, there was a meme that I saw once where it was like a pusheen next to like a person dressed in like all goth clothes.
Yeah.
And it was like, this is me on the outside on the goth side, and this is me on the inside on the pusheen side. And I'm like, that's me except opposite.
Flip it around.
I'm pusheen on the outside and goth on the inside.
Well, and part of that aspect is your wonderful voice.
Thank you.
You mentioned in Iowa going to college and spending a lot of time in taking music classes. Were voice lessons a big part of that?
No. I mostly took cello. I took private cello, and I was in orchestra and chamber ensemble. And I took a lot of like academic classes, like harmony and theory and all that stuff.
So really a lot of everything that wasn't vocals.
Yeah, it's really weird because I've always loved singing and people have always been like, oh, you have a good voice, but I wasn't trained. And I think I was just like afraid of singing for a long time. And yeah, so I'm not trained, and the only training I've actually done is like some of these sort of online courses in vocal training. I did superior singing and hear and play vocals, and you know what? I think they helped a lot. You know, I feel like some of those online courses, you know, they have the page where you scroll down and it's like, oh, it used to be $8,000, but now it's only $99, and
Right.
you're like, this is a scam.
Oh, it's
But
such a good deal.
But they actually helped. So I think they did improve my like projection and vocal control, because I used to be very, very quiet, and I still am, but like, yeah.
Well, you don't have a big booming projecting voice, but we have microphones.
Yeah, microphones are great that way.
But you do have a pretty good range, and you do hit a lot of high notes, but they're not shrill at all, which is what I found very interesting. It's super listenable. I enjoy listening to your music,
Oh, thank you.
even if you are telling me I'm a terrible person on online dating services.
Well, only if you act like these guys. They're just like, I have literally nothing to offer. Do you want to go out?
Just
And you're
accept me.
Like, nah, I'm good.
I think we've got time for 2, maybe 3 songs. Depends
Yeah.
on the length of them. But yeah, can we have another one?
and your thumb.
And let's just
yeah.
burn up that thumb a little bit more, and then you can write a song about that. These 3 DJs.
Chocolate makes it better.
My thumb is an inch shorter because of them.
I think I prepared 2, and you know, I've got more songs than this, but when I haven't practiced on the guitar, like anything could happen. So you should
It's
probably
your
go.
show. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, we'll probably go with the 2 just to avoid total crashes and burns, which could happen on the ones I practiced. You never know, but
Makes for good radio.
that's true. This one is called "I Can Do Right." I put the capo up a lot higher, so I'm gonna fix this tuning.
Nobody's ever tuned on the show before. This is
Really?
a world first. That might have been sarcasm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sometimes I react to people's sarcasm as if it's real, even when I think it's sarcasm, because like I've just reacted to people's sincerity too many times and been like, haha, and then they're like, I was serious. I'm like, whoops. So I err on the side of just, oh, I'll just believe you. Flesh in my teeth, blood on my hands. Innocents cry every night I'm feeding. In daylight I'm home under the bed. Sick with the taste of their bleeding. I know I'm a monster, though I'm the small and skittering kind. I've made so many nightmares come alive. Only the devil can do evil all of the time. I can do right, I can do right this time. Thirst like a fish, hook in my cheek. Caught me on the line in its violent reeling. It's almost a pain I can withstand. The need to be bad, but I'm healing. I know I'm a monster, though I'm the small and skittering kind. I've made so many nightmares come alive. Only the devil can do evil all of the time. I can do right, I can do right this time. I'm learning to stand in the light and look in a mirror with no itch to shiver, believing the beauty I find is a scratch in the silver. I know I'm a monster, but with a small hope glimmering, I can make one of the good dreams come alive. I know only the devil can do evil all of the time. I can do right, I can do right this time. This time I can do right, I can do right this time.
Thank you.
Wow.
Very nice.
That one was super good. And
Thanks.
showed off your vocals, I think.
Thank you so
Pippa, to have a little break before you bring us home with your final song, we found out that you at Grinnell played cello and studied cello, but when did cello first enter your life?
I think when I was 10, yeah.
So that was your first instrument?
It was not my first instrument.
Oh.
I took piano lessons from kindergarten to second grade, and I quit mostly because I'm a little bit dyslexic, and I had just been like memorizing the music the whole time. And then it got to the point where like it was like, no, you have to like read the music, and I was like, no, and I just like couldn't handle it. And yeah, then going back to cello. There's only one staff. It's just only one thing to look at. So it's easier to learn to read. And actually, I've been teaching myself piano again. And it's just like a whole new world. Like, it's so much easier for me to read. And I think like it was the mental shift of when I was a kid. I was just trying to like pick out the notes and be like, okay, that note is here and that note is here. And now that I'm an adult, I'm really looking at like the chord shape. And it's just way easier to be like, oh, yeah, that's a triad like this. This is like an extension. And it's just, I don't know. I'm just finding it a lot easier to read music.
So cello at 10 was by your choice, or in school they needed somebody to play the cello? Say, here, you're playing the cello, or how'd that happen?
It was my choice, but it was really like at the recommendation of my mom. I think we were just like in a Borders sometime. She's like, I think you would like the cello. And when they used to have like those CD listening booths with the headphones, she like put some headphones on me.
And
and I was like, whoa, I do like the cello. And then I started lessons.
Good mom.
She is.
I'm a big fan of the cello myself, so I think everybody should play a little cello now and then.
It's a great instrument. I recommend it. And I think of all the strings, it's the most forgiving to a beginner because it's just like the violin. If you tilt your bow the wrong way,
You're going to hurt somebody.
It's rough.
Gonna break glass.
Yeah. Takes a little bit longer to get it like, all right, this is fine. But with the cello, it's a low enough frequency when you're in first position that it's like, this is fine. Once you start doing thumb position, you can start to squeak, but that doesn't come till later.
Yeah, but it's a much more acceptable squeak than violins can do.
Violins really can do. They have us beat in the squeak department. That is true.
Well, y'all, you have been listening to Pippa Hoover live here on Pass the Hat. You can learn more at pippahoover.com, but better than that, follow her on Instagram and Facebook at Pippa Hoover. And you will find out there where she might be playing next.
And
That's
buy her
right.
record on Bandcamp.
Oh, yes, absolutely,
Please
because
do.
you want that record.
Or find me in the wild somewhere.
Well, Pippa, can you bring us home with one more song?
Sure. This is probably the happiest song on the list. I was wrong. I thought it was Hummingbird, but no. This one's actually kind of optimistic. It's called Land of My Dreams. Who thought that I would ever write a song with that title? I did not. But sometimes they just happen. Let's make sure I'm in the right position on my capo. Yes. Okay. Summer starting and the heat it swells as the green leaves grow in thick where all the blooms fell. Couples lay out on the shaded down. Me, I've got a vision. There's a place I have to go before the leaves brown. dream. Some folks are down in the earth, they know, or they tumble through the flatlands as the winds blow. Others follow where the river flows. Me, I've got a vision, and no matter how I'm pushed and pulled, I'll go. If you're coming, then walk by my side, and if you're staying back, then kiss me goodbye. I'm going down through the canyon and over the falls to look for the land of my dreams. If you're coming, then pick up your cross. It's gonna be a grueling pathway to walk. Our feet might get bloody, our shoulders may tear, our little hearts may give out before we even get there. But in farmlands, in quaint peaceful towns, in golden cities, I will not settle down. I'm going straight up the mountain and into the storm to look for the land of my dreams. I'm going into the thicket and right through the thorns, down through the canyon and over the falls, straight up the mountain and into the storm to look for the land of my dreams. Thank you.
You have been listening to Pippa Hoover live for the last hour. It's time for the live stream to end, so you folks watching the live stream, Pippa's going to wave goodbye in just a moment, and we're going to end the live stream, but you don't have to go away. You can keep listening to the rest of the show, another 30 minutes or, 29 or so, by going to WHUPFM.org, clicking the live button, finding us on the TuneIn app, or if you're in the footprint of Hillsboro, FM 104.7. So goodbye, y'all. And Pippa, if you would wave goodbye, too.
Bye. Thanks so much for having me.
Okay,